Hi, this is Chris with the design team for Papercraft Maniac, and today we'll be creating this mixed media tote bag using the Crafter's Companion Peacock Feathers stencil set along with a Spectrum Noir glitter paste. I usually like to start creating a tote bag by placing some chipboard inside the bag so that all the paint doesn't soak through to the other side. So first, you'll add a layer of black gesso, just a thin layer, and make sure you let this dry completely before you go to the next step. Here you can add some tissue paper, anything you have from your stash, and you'll attach the tissue paper to your tote using a layer of gel medium on the front and back of each piece to make sure you get a good seal on there. I use slow dry gel medium, but you could use, any kind of gel medium you had on hand for this project. The stencil and the glitter paste can be purchased from the online store at papercraftmaniac.com. I'll put a list of supplies in the link below. Once this was dry, I added some old pieces from an old book. And I attached these to the tote bag again using gel medium. The Crafter's Companion Peacock Feather stencil set comes with 3 patterns. Here I decided to use the largest stencil, which is 8.5 by 8.5. I attached the stencil to the tote bag using just some painter's tape. And then I'm using the Spectrum Noir glitter paste. Here the first color I'm using is called Peony Bloom. And I'm just painting this, through the stencil using I wouldn't say a thick layer, just a medium layer. And I've used a silicone spatula here, but I find later in the project that it works better with a metal spatula. This next color is called Jade River. The third color that we'll use here is called Starlight Blue. And the fourth color here, my favorite color, is Regal Purple. And these can be purchased at the online store at papercraftmaniac.com. Now, the glitter paste doesn't need to be completely dry when you remove the stencil, but just remove the stencil slowly. Now, the video is sped up, so it looks like I'm doing it quickly, but I'm actually doing it very slowly. And I like to start by removing the stencil from the top. And if any of the papers or anything come up when you do this, you can just put some gel medium on your finger and glue them back down. I used the same stencil and flipped it over just to get another contrast with the pattern. And this is, for that other side of the tote bag that was missing. And I started again here with the Spectrum Noir glitter paste in the Peony Bloom color. And you can see I switched over to that metal spatula. I found that this metal spatula seemed to have a lot better coverage. Here's the Jade River. And now I'm adding the Starlight blue. And then the Regal purple. And when I was done, I found that it was pretty easy to wash this off of the stencil. I just used some warm water and some, dish soap, and just kind of soaked the stencil in the sink and just gently cleaned it so as not to, mess up your stencil area. This is the smallest stencil with the 3 patterns that are included. So I'm using the Regal purple in the middle. And then the Starlight blue. And then the Jade River. And off camera, I am cleaning my spatula before I go to the next color. But I don't mind if in the stencil if the colors blend together. Again, slowly take that stencil off, and then you can fill in any of the areas with your spatula. You can even just, paint some of that glitter paste directly onto your bag. Once the glitter was dry, I added this peacock feather. I attached it with a couple of glue dots, and then I'm adhering it with the gel medium. I'm using a pretty generous layer on the feather stem. And it has held it on. I wanted to add a little bit more color and kind of cover up. I didn't really like how the book paper was showing through, so patchy. So I sprayed some water right onto the canvas and used some Stampin' Up! Re-inker. Put some drops of that on here. And then sprayed it again with some spritzes of water to kind of let that re-inker spread. This is watercolor re-inker. And just made sure let everything dry. And that's how it turned out. I hope you liked my project. Shop at papercraftmaniac.com to get any of the supplies that you see here. And I'll put a list of supplies available at the online store down below. Thanks. Bye-bye.